A legend surrounds Vasily Pugarev's painting Unequal Marriage. After seeing it, all the elderly grooms refused to marry their young brides. Unequal Marriage openly criticized Russian society's commercialism, but there was no magic in reality. Only the young bride's face touched me to my core. In today's video, we are going to explore the full story of revenge. So stay with us till the end and subscribe to Art Unfold for more videos like this. Let's begin. The artist of this painting. Vasily Pugarev was born into a poor peasant family in 1832. He was accepted into the Moscow School of Painting, Sculpture, and Architecture only by chance. Pugarev received the title of Free Artist in 1858. Pugarev was named a historical and portrait painting academician by the Imperial Academy of Painting 2 years later. Pugarev received a state-owned apartment as well as a teaching position after receiving the title. Pugarev, then 30, presented the painting Unequal Marriage at the annual academic exhibition in 1862. This was an amazing sensation. The artist was then elevated to the rank of professor. Pugarev's subsequent fate was much more tragic. None of his subsequent paintings were as successful as Unequal Marriage. As a result, many consider him to be the artist of one painting. Nonetheless, he attempted to advance as a creator in various ways. He taught and painted Moscow, provincial temples, and churches and icons. Analysis of the painting. Pugarev, the son of a peasant trained as an icon painter, swept the art world with his large canvas The Unequal Marriage in 1863. This painting was an ambitious and successful attempt to depict a scene from everyday life in a serious, not sentimental manner. The scene appears to be a dramatic scene from a play with the light in the church, falling on the three main figures in the painting. The bride illuminating her beautiful and sad figure, the wrinkled and dull-looking old groom, and the hunched priest. Both the bride and groom are holding a lit candle. The bride, who is beautiful, shy, and melancholy, embodies innocence. Her lovely pale oval face is framed by silky curls that brush against her collarbones and necklace. Her skin is gleaming with jewels and the blossoms on her wreath bloom, but her heart is a poor, withered flower, sad and cold. Her slender frame is burdened by the crinoline, and her downward gaze reveals more than it conceals. We can't see the look in her eyes, but we can feel what she's feeling. The soft tears blurring her vision, the dryness in her throat when the time comes to say, "I do." Pugarev's friend, Sergei Mikhailovich Vorontsov, a young merchant, fell hopelessly in love with a 24-year-old girl, Sofia Nikolaevna Rybnikova. Still, her parents decided it would be better for her to marry a richer and more successful man, 37-year-old Andrei Alexandrovich Karzinkin. The age gap wasn't as great as the painting depicts, but Pugarev wanted to emphasize the bride's youth and beauty in contrast to the man's old age and fading looks, so the artistic license is understandable and justified. Despite being poor and heartbroken, Sergei was compelled to attend the wedding and witness his beloved marry someone else due to family obligations. His brother Nikolai was married to Karzinkin's younger sister. One man's sadness was another man's inspiration, and when Sergei told this to his artist friend Pugarev, he immediately thought of a painting. The man behind the bride is supposed to be a portrait of Sergei, but Sergei is upset that Pugarev had painted him, so Pugarev added a beard to the face but left the rest of the face untouched. Still, the artist's friend S.I. Gribkov identified the bearded man as V.V. with crossed arms in the picture. Pugarev himself as if he were alive. The painting's theme and the social issue it highlights remind me of something from Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, in which the main character, Raskolnikov's intelligent and beautiful sister Dunya, takes it upon herself to improve the family's financial situation by marrying an old and wealthy, but not good-hearted lawyer Lushkin. However, she ultimately does not proceed and marries Raskolnikov's best friend Razumikin, who is intelligent and strong and, unlike Lushkin, adores her. The bride. The bride is the only figure painted in light colors in the image. She is still a child, wiping away tears. This appears to be the most difficult day of her life. Her delicate face is sad, framed by blonde curls. A candle in her child's hand leans over, dripping wax onto her wedding gown. Her right hand is extended to the priest as he prepares to place a wedding ring on her thin finger. She is already unconcerned about her own fate. The bride's name is Praskovia Matveyevna Vorontsova, according to research. She was the illegitimate child of a wealthy family at the time, actively participating in her upbringing and establishing her future life. Perhaps this is why she married someone older but also wealthier. Praskovia became a widow at a young age but was not a wealthy heiress. She spent the rest of her days in a Moscow poorhouse, a charitable institution for people who couldn't care for themselves. The Tretyakov Gallery acquired a pencil drawing by artist Vladimir Sukhov in 1907 and 2002. It is the most conclusive proof. Praskovia Matveyevna Vorontsova, from whom the artist Pugarev created his famous painting Unequal Marriage 44 years ago. The sign reads, Mrs. Vorontsova lives in the Mazurinskaya poorhouse in Moscow. The groom. Unlike the soft, angelic bride, the groom appears to be made entirely of angles and straight lines. He represents fading, mortification, and the atmosphere in which the bride's maiden beauty will fade. He's dressed in an expensive suit and has an unnatural posture supported by a tight corset. His head barely turns, squeezed by a high collar, and his dull eyes look around haughtily. We can see that he has the Order of St. Vladimir for continuous civil and military service, indicating that he's a highly respected individual. These awards, however, are clearly inappropriate for a church wedding. The groom attempts to view the bride from the pinnacle of his general rank. Where does such solaceness originate? The gloomy detail. In this room, there are two strange figures, two old women. Nothing out of the ordinary happened. Old women came to see the wedding. Perhaps they are the bride's sisters, but this raises the question of why they wear the same wreaths as the bride. One even wears a white gown. Take a closer look, it appears to be a sheet. Perhaps the sheet is a funeral shroud. Because ordinary guests are not permitted to stand next to the priest, the figure of the second bride behind the priest appears even stranger. Unless, of course, they're from another planet. There are various theories about who these women are. They are most likely the ex-wives of the groom himself. It's unclear whether they died naturally or if he wore them out to remarry a young girl. As it turns out, there are 3 brides at the wedding simultaneously. 2 of them have died and are staring at the old groom. This detail makes us even more concerned about the bride. The real significance of unequal marriage. Unequal marriage was unprecedented at the time, and society was enthralled by a new and timely topic, the power of money. According to the most popular version, Pugachev is deeply moved by this scene because it depicts his beloved marrying the wealthy prince. She was likely a poor woman with no dowry, and her parents saw marriage with a wealthy, prosperous prince as the best option for her. What about Pugachev, though? He had just graduated, and his painting career did not provide the necessary income to support her. After all, beauty was a very popular product. Vasily Pugachev created this painting in a difficult mental state. Look at the man on the right. He unmistakably resembles the artist. Furthermore, his posture expresses his obvious displeasure with what is going on. Till blue in the face. The provocative unequal marriage so impressed English painter Edmund Blair Leighton that he decided to paint his own version of the topical plot, in which a young sad bride is doomed to marry a rich old man of convenience. He also gave it a meaningful title, Till Death Do Us Part. What do you think about this painting? Share your thoughts in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe to Art Unfold for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.